Hello and welcome to the Authors Lounge. My name is Paulette Henson, and I am the founder of Black Women's Authors Group on Facebook as well as BWA Magazine. And today on the Authors Lounge, I have the pleasure of bringing on to the stage Miss Victoria Pearson. Victoria, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Paulette. I am well. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be part of your show and to be affiliated with BWA, Black Women Authors, which is a huge publishing endeavor. I follow you closely. Your magazine is outstanding. Not only is it beautiful, but the fact that it's ours, it's
Yeah.
by Black women, by a Black woman, for Black women, and it's uplifting in the community of writers, of which I've just entered that community myself. And what you're doing with your Facebook group, I mean, month after month, you're looking at double-digit growth. I know that you just surpassed 10,000 members, which is, quite a feat, as everyone knows, being online, social media, having followers, having community groups and managing those groups successfully to the stage where yours is at is really, you should write a book about it.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I really appreciate your words. And so today, as we dive into our podcast, I want to talk to you and really just dive into your writing journey, what you have going on. I just want to mention that Victoria will be on the July cover of BWA magazine. So I am super excited about that. And so go ahead and tell us a little bit about Victoria and what you're doing and your future endeavors.
Okay, thank you so much. So I am new to the community of writers. I have considered myself to be a writer all my life. I actually think it's one of my superpowers. I think it's my gift, just like Whitney can sing. I can write, but I've never had the courage to write publicly. So as a child, I wrote. As far back, I have memories of being 3 years old, all throughout my life. I mean, I'm the perfect age of 60, approaching 61, and I'm very happy about that because, get to be old or die young. And I love the fact that I've made it this far in spite of some of the challenges of my life. But as a writer, it's something that I've always admired great writers and even writers who aren't great, but writers who write. So I've recently found my voice. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with being a part of BWA, and I'm easing out there. I have a lot of unfinished manuscripts on my computer. I just finished one that will be released soon. I don't really want to reveal it right now, but by the end of the year, I plan to have published 3 books in total on a variety of topics. Most of them are stories or writings about things that have impacted my life and what I've done to overcome those challenges or try to, because when you're changing, when you're making a significant personal adjustment in your life, that's an ongoing process. So I won't say that I've changed. I'll say that I'm actively changing, whereas in the past I wasn't. I felt as though I was more stagnant.
Right. I totally get that. And I commend you on taking that leap to, publishing and getting your writing and your information out there because it is truly valued by our members. We're always looking for new people to write things about what's going on in today's world, other topics. adjacent to our memoirs and our books that we're used to seeing. And I feel that you step out of that box because you are writing about so many different topics. And so tell us about the invitation to be on the cover of BWA and how you felt about that and your commitment to writing articles and supporting the magazine.
So I will say, being on the cover of BWA and being invited to be a part of the magazine, in addition to being on the cover, uh, is quite an honor. As someone, as I mentioned, who is an emerging author, writer, someone who understands your readership and your audience, and that it's global.
Yes.
For me to have the opportunity to be on the cover, to write feature articles for BWA, to be invited to be a regular columnist in BWA is an honor that, I shouldn't say this because I'm a writer now, but it's beyond words. It's
Wow.
so meaningful to me in lots of ways. First and foremost, because we've known each other for so long as
Yes.
friends, as family, as
Yes.
business partners in multiple ventures, as mothers and wives. We've gone through the vast majority of our lives together. And so it's an honor for me as your friend, as your sister, as your business partner,
Yes.
as your cheerleader, as your confidant. It's quite an honor. From the
Wow.
standpoint of being a Black woman and
Yes.
being able to have a platform for my voice to share my experiences, to share what I know and what I've learned. And I'm always learning. I'm just one of those people that loves information. I
Yes.
joke and say I should have been a reference librarian.
Mhm.
I love information. I always have. And so, as a result of loving information, being very adept at finding the information that I need, and understanding that a lot of people are looking for the same information, but they may not necessarily be as adept at
Yeah.
finding it, nor do people just have hours and hours each and every day or several times a week to go on a random hunt down a rabbit hole. It's what I love, it's what I do. And so, over my lifetime, and certainly in the last, 2 years since AI has exploded, certainly it's been around for decades in the
Yes.
background, but since it's exploded in the foreground and it's in all of our hands, if we choose to use it and benefit from it, uh, there's even more to know. And in the spirit of helping, uplifting, educating other Black women who look like us, not
Yes.
that all women aren't welcome or can't take advantage of anything that I have to share. It's not what it's about. It's
Right.
about focusing in on the groups of people who need it the most. And
Absolutely.
those are my people, those are my sisters, those are my brothers. And so, in the spirit of trying to narrow the digital divide, which is widening at an exponential rate now that technology is accelerating so quickly, it's imperative that I bring what I know. And I don't know everything, but what I do know, I'm willing to share it and help other people to also benefit from and acquire that information. So
Wow.
thank you. It's quite an honor to be
Oh,
on next month's cover of BWA magazine. Thank you.
you're welcome. And I just want to mention that, yes, Victoria and I have been friends, sisters for over 40 years. And we have learned so much over the years about business marketing and all of the ideologies that go into your business and being an entrepreneur. And so I just want to double back and give you those kudos because you're definitely a hard worker, always finding new information to share and to enhance BWA as well as our group and all of that. So I definitely appreciate you and thank you for being on the Authors Lounge. So let's talk about what you got going on. What's coming up? What's new?
Okay, so I have a couple things that are coming up. They're big in my eyes.
Mhm.
I've been working on them for almost 2 years. And the primary focus of my current endeavor is an online learning platform. So people know Coursera, they know Udemy. Most people now have taken an online class or two, or even sat through a Zoom meeting or presentation from some, digital marketing company. I think post COVID, most of us are familiar with online courses as well as learning online or even presenting online. So I developed an e-learning platform. It's called Grokly, GROKLY.me.
Mhm.
And I invite you to look up the word grok and see what it means. You will be pleasantly surprised. I can't believe that the domain was available, but I've bought thousands, more than 10,000 domains in the last 20 plus years. So I'm pretty good at coming up with the names. So Grokly.me is an e-learning platform. Our tagline is learn for free. Learn for free. What that means is we offer a substantial amount of both paid courses, but also free courses and lessons. So when we launch, we're launching a soft launch this weekend with some hand selected beta users that are actually from the BWA community. Thank you very much
Mhm.
for our volunteers. And they're going to go through and really focus on those courses I've developed specifically for emerging and intermediate writers. Obviously, there's content there too for advanced writers, but we're really trying to uplift that group, that community of people who have a burning desire to be a writer. After so many years, most people don't find that courage early on. It takes a while. And when you finally get to that point, it can be frustrating to realize, oh, okay, you've written a manuscript or at least a first draft. And what's this Amazon KDP thing, for example, that everyone's talking about? And so you log on to Amazon KDP and you realize it's not as straightforward as one would think it should be because Amazon can do better. But in any event, there are lots of forms and fields and keywords and other descriptors and ISBNs and publishing companies, all sorts of information you have to fill out. And that's after you've formatted your manuscript, hopefully according to their requirements, the bleed, the front cover, the back cover,
Yes.
all of those things, right? You're lucky if you can get that right the first time because you can get to KDP, Amazon KDP, upload the manuscript, figure out what goes in all of those boxes, including your description and your keywords that you've
Yeah.
researched, because Paulette has taught you to do that. And it won't upload because it's not formatted properly. And for a lot of people, that happens over and over and over. And so we have, as I said, more than 30, probably 35. In the next couple months, it'll be close to 50 courses specifically for writers. So let me just give you an example. Pull up my list here. You'll have to excuse me while I put on my glasses.
No worries. I
I'm
just want to keep mine on.
I'm just going to read off some of the classes. We have
Okay, sure.
Mastering Your KDP Dashboard, how to track, analyze, and improve your book's performance. Book marketing for KDP authors, proven tactics to boost visibility and sales. We have KDP keywords and categories, optimize your book's discoverability. We have also things that are geared toward the mental health and well-being of writers, because as most writers know, it's stressful, even though an outsider looking in might see a writer just sitting there, right, thinking,
Right.
typing, but
Mhm.
it's stressful.
Yes.
Just like every job is stressful in its own way. So I have emotional intelligence for writers, sensory writing, overcoming writer's block, the psychology of storytelling, time management mastery for writers, mindfulness for writers, the neuroscience of creativity.
Wow.
So those are just some of the many courses that we've developed for the writing community. And then, of course, we have hundreds of other courses spanning every topic from artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, courses that are geared toward, we have our free MBA course offering, as I call it, which I really strove to look at some of the best MBA programs in the country at our tier one, division one Ivy institutions, and mimic the learning from those courses. So I can't give you a certificate from Stanford or from MIT, but I can certainly give you the learning at a price point that is far less. So it might cost $8,000, for example, to complete a series of courses that certificated, whether it be at Stanford, Harvard, MIT, UCLA, you name it, UPenn. And I can deliver that same body of knowledge and learning to you for $500, 10
Wow.
courses, 50 or 60 hours of learning, including an AI tutor. So anything you don't understand, you can ask the tutor. And the tutor will explain it until you do understand. There are AI videos. You can communicate with the video and ask it to explain something, or ask it to expand upon a particular topic. A few of the courses do have lessons or activities built in, which you can choose to skip and continue to another section. But everything from, um, you know, 70 courses geared toward the senior community, elderly people, topics that are of interest to boomers or
Yes.
caregivers of boomers, everything from disease management, people who are managing, say, early onset of Alzheimer's, caregiving. A lot of times people are just, dropped into that role somewhat unexpectedly, and usually unprepared for caregiving of a senior. It could be nutrition, brain health,
Oh,
all of those things. Sexual dysfunctions for seniors. I mean, people, it doesn't stop because
right.
someone's of a certain age. So all of those things are important topics. And all of my courses have been developed, whether it's a spirituality course, a wellness course, yoga, nutrition, across the span, AI, upskilling in this market, learning how to use different AI tools, and to upskill one's professional skill set so that you're ready for this generation of the labor economy, which is driven by AI. So all of those things, all of those courses, I personally developed those courses, the learning outcomes, the curriculum, everything. It takes
Wow.
me hours and hours for one. And as I said, I've been building this for almost 2 years. So it's been done with love. And what we hope is that the people who can pay for courses will pay for courses.
Yeah.
Uh, it is a business, and I do have to cover
Very
the multitude of
expensive.
expenses. I've got 7 people working, supporting me on my team. But for the people who are disadvantaged, those communities, those are the people that we're committed to giving the education to them for free. And hopefully those organizations that are funded, that know how to write a grant, can support us financially, but we don't want that to stop anyone. So
Yeah.
anyone out there who's working with a disadvantaged community of people, absolutely reach out to me so that we can make all of these courses available to those underserved populations. That is my mission in Grokkly.me, and that is what we are committed to doing.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. And I think so much needed in the community of writing and being an author. Because as you know, there is an influx of authors, Black women authors, I would say in the past year or so, more and more people are writing. More women are writing their stories. They are writing their experiences. And the education that goes behind that, I'll say, or along with writing, you have to have that. You have to know that once you complete your manuscript, that there is the next step of editing and
Absolutely.
publishing and all of that.
Agree.
And it's better to at least be mindful or aware, educated on the process so that you're not taken
Yes.
advantage of. And should you decide to hire a publisher or someone, you have that knowledge walking in the door, and it's going to save you a ton of money. So I would encourage you all to reach out to Victoria, Grokkly.me. Victoria, did you want me to add your email address, or would you like for our audience to reach you via your website?
Uh, I think it's best because everyone in your audience, they know how to get in contact with you and
Okay,
reach you. So
sure.
anyone who's interested, for example, in being a beta tester, we're going to open it up to more people in July, early July. Reach out to Paulette, and if you just want to be on the waiting list for when the platform launches and we go live in September, you can let Paulette know that as well. But, you know, you're welcome to reach me, but Paulette is our partner, so she knows exactly what's going on. My email is Victoria, just the normal spelling, Victoria. It's on your screen, at Grokkly.me, and that's Grokly.me. That's my email. I can be reached there, but certainly Paulette knows where to find me.
Okay, I'm just going to add that in and into our banner. And that way you can reach out to Victoria or myself at bwamagazine@gmail.com. And just in the subject, indicate that you're interested in the beta testing.
Yeah, and sorry, Paulette, but I just want to make sure if you do reach out to me directly because you want to be a beta tester, you have to identify yourself as being part of BWA, because the beta testing is only open to BWA members in Facebook, as well as people who are part of the community because they're seeing this podcast online. So mention BWA, and I will extend to you the opportunity to be a beta tester. If you don't mention it, you won't hear back because I'm not allowing outside beta testers, only BWA affiliated members.
Awesome. Awesome. I think we got that right. Please mention BWA for beta testing or beta testers if you would like to participate. This is a great opportunity. You'll be able to take a course of your choice and go through it and test it.
A lot of courses, as many as you can take.
Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome. You hear that?
absolutely. So the courses will be available. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
The courses, okay. The courses will be available at no cost to all of the beta testers for the duration of the beta test. So if you sign up early, and we will limit it, so getting on the list to be a beta tester sooner rather than later, I would say is to your advantage. But all of those courses will be available to you. So if you can take all of them before the beta testing period ends, then you got all those courses at no cost. So I encourage you to please take advantage. And then, in return, we want your feedback. We want you to rate the course, score it 1 to 5. If it's horrible, give it a 1, and let us know why it's horrible. If you loved it, give it a 5, and put a comment there that lets people know why you loved it, because people are also going to be looking to you for your opinion and your insight from your experience taking the courses, to say, this one's great, I would take this one first, or I took that one. This one was a little bit over my head. So definitely, please help us out and become a beta tester.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. This is so amazing, Victoria. I am super proud of you and your accomplishment. I know that, as you said, 2 years you've been working on this. And I can contest to that because she has been literally working around the clock to get this e-learning course launched and ready to this point of beta testing. So I cannot encourage you enough to jump on this opportunity. This is a great way for you to get some free education, which, as we know, education is not free. You have to jump through many hoops to get something like this. And there's nothing like this available, especially to our community. And so I totally commend you, Victoria, on all of your hard work, um, because it's going to bless so many people. Now, you mentioned one of your courses about mental health in your writing journey or something to that effect. And that is super important, especially for people that are writing stories of past experiences, either if they were painful or your childhood or whatnot. And as a writer myself, writing my own personal story, you're going to go through some of the same emotions that you went through during that time that you're writing about. And it is
Yeah.
extremely painful. You're going to cry, and you're going to stop and try to rewrite the story or rewrite it in your mind. It is very emotional. And oftentimes, what I found out, this is really amazing. You can have ideas on what you want your audience to know about your story, and they will pull out something totally different than they got from
Yeah.
your writing. And I think that's amazing. But going back to those emotions that will flare up because you are literally reliving those experiences. And so
Mhm.
the question is, how do you deal with that and not get stuck there? How do you move forward and continue to write your story? Because it's a battle. And so I believe that having a
Yes.
course that
So,
speaks to that is amazing. Go ahead and speak to that.
what I would say is a few things. One, because just because I have created all of these courses for obvious reasons, I haven't taken every course. I've taken parts of every course, believe it or not. But there are probably maybe a couple where I've actually taken the whole course. And that's primarily as a result of just not having time. Many
Mhm.
of the courses, okay, so for example, and then I will answer your question, Paulette. Um, there's a course, Mindfulness for Writers, Cultivating Calm, Focus, and Inspiration. That course has 10 modules. It is 5 hours and 59 minutes in length in content. So that's reading, watching videos, in some instances, doing exercises. But I guarantee you, you won't find that amount of rich content anywhere, and certainly not this price point. So, it's interesting because writing is really just life, right? Being a writer, undergoing the experience, putting yourself through the experience of writing is
Right.
no different than any other thing we do in life. And so the way that for me, the way that I approach it is, how would I approach any other stressful situation? And it's oftentimes difficult to separate ourselves, or to kind of step away from ourselves and be
Right.
objective
Yeah.
and make decisions and react and behave, not in a manner that's driven by our ego, but in a manner that's driven by our hearts and our minds,
Yes.
what we know in our heart to be correct and proper, and what we know in our minds, and our rational thinking minds. So, if I was stressful in any situation, right, I step back from it. I take deep breaths.
Right.
I practice meditation.
Yes.
I've undertaken that uh,
Yes.
probably in the last 2 years multiple times, and I personally have had a lot of difficulty with it. But my daughter's a longtime practitioner. I know, Paulette, you mentioned that you're doing that now, and
Yes.
it's very helpful. So, you're doing the things in your life that you found in the past in stressful, emotionally charged situations that have helped you to kind of take a step back and remove yourself. And it's really no different with your writing. You approach it in a way that you would approach any other situation in life. And so, depending upon what your personal level of um, facility is with wellness practices, meditation,
Yes.
nutrition,
Yes.
um, even just the process of planning, right?
Yes.
Planning or writing the same way you plan your day or your week,
Yes.
in your business or in your job.
Yes.
Writing's no different. So you approach it like a job, and not like a family member that you love, that you look the other way for, that you bend over backward for. You approach it objectively, as a job, really. And so you set the same expectations for yourself and parameters for performance for your writing as
Yes.
you do in any other endeavor that you commit to professionally or personally. And so for writers, right, and it's probably the same for all creatives, like there's just that emotional connection, because most of us are writing from what we know. Very few of us are writing fantasy novels,
Right.
meaning, science fiction, fantasy, or,
Right.
creating other worlds. I mean, most of us, even if we're writing fiction, we're writing about our childhood, our dysfunctional families, our dysfunctional relationships, our abusive husbands, the time we got cancer and almost died and still had to, soldier through it,
Yes.
and all the other things that we as Black women, especially, right? Women collectively shoulder a huge burden in society,
Oh,
but
yes.
Black women
Oh, yes.
separately,
Yes.
it's on a whole nother level. We take care of everybody. We're the strong one. No matter what, most of us put ourselves last. And I would encourage you not to do that, but
Right.
I did that, and
Yeah.
it made me sick. and it made me emotionally unhealthy. I mean, it made me physically sick with disease. It made me emotionally unhealthy. Uh,
Yes.
it made me suffer financially, economically,
Hmm.
uh, in so many ways. And so we have to put ourselves first. But as Black women, through the millennia, right, we've played this role in society. We are the mothers of all men, all women,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We've birthed everyone, every ethnicity in every country. They came from our womb in
Yes.
Africa. And
Yes.
so the motherhood is ingrained in us in a way that it's not ingrained in other people, right? We
Right.
have a collective sense of responsibility for
Yes.
everybody and everything in our world and everything around us, right?
Yes.
And so we put ourselves last. So again, going back to approaching your writing, you know, practice spirituality, take some of the classes that talk about nurturing your creativity. So when you get writer's block, right, it doesn't cause stress. And then writer's block begets writer's block. Uh,
Yes.
it's a downward spiral. So there's a lot to learn there. And I don't mean to ramble, but Paulette knows I will ramble. Um, I just encourage you. Like I said, I'm opening up the opportunity for people to come in and take the courses that appeal to them. And you can take all of them if you want to. But, please do and take advantage of all the things. These are the result of conversations I've had, uh,
Yes.
articles that I read, newsletters that I get in my inbox, questions that pop into my head, and I'm on Google for 2 days trying to
Right.
get to the bottom of it. So all those things are courses because
Yes.
I'm not unique. If I'm looking for it out of the billions of people on this planet, there've got to be at least another million people looking for the exact same thing. And Quora and Reddit tells us that's true, right? All the
Yes.
stuff groups. So in any event, I encourage you to join us. I welcome you to join us.
Wow. That is amazing. And I just want to add to the meditation. Absolutely, it's changed my life. Um, Jumping into this endeavor, developing the group, developing publicated magazines, yes, it has created a huge, um, well, I'll say a number of jobs on my plate. And of course, along with that goes stress, and life still is lifing, right? And so you have to learn how to manage all of the different hats that you wear as a Black woman. As you said, we wear multiple hats, and we, in some weird way, welcome even more hats.
I'll take
And
another. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I can do that, and I can do that. And so before you know it, you're bombarded. And so, how do you handle that? How do you deal with that and manage it to a place where it doesn't get you to, sickness and mental illness and all of those downward spirals that you mentioned? And so, all of these courses are going to benefit you. They are tools to help you to complete your mission of writing. As you know, in some states, they are removing Black history from schools.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really up to us as writers to continue to write these stories, to continue to write our experiences. But we want to do it in a way where it's projected correctly. And having a course or taking a course or courses so that you can accomplish that goal, this is a great opportunity. And there is no other entity like this. There are no other schools that are offering courses that are geared for authors and writing. Of course, there's English courses and creative writing courses, but we're talking about a curriculum that is specifically designed to help you to succeed as a writer. And so, wow, Victoria, amazing. I am so super proud of you. You never cease to amaze me at your capability, and you are just an inspiration, and you empower so many women, as well as myself. I'm always in awe, like, wow, I can't believe she did that. This is amazing. And so, with that, as we wrap up today, you have told us so much about what you're doing, and I know that you are are you completed? Have you completed your manuscript, or are you almost there?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So it's complete. I don't want to talk about it quite
Okay,
yet,
sure.
but it is complete.
Awesome.
And it's been formatted, but I realized also I left out the dedication page.
Okay.
And so for my first book, I absolutely have to have a dedication page.
Yes.
So I'm going
Yes.
to make that edit, but I will get it up on Amazon. It's less about selling books for me.
Yes.
It's more about rising to the challenge of completing a book, like finishing things.
Yes.
And that's, I struggle a lot with finishing things. So,
Yes.
um, it's more about finishing. Like I finished it, I did that.
Yes.
And I'm going to continue to do it.
Yes.
One thing I'm just going to drive home this fact when Paulette was talking about um, using the courses as part of your toolkit, sharpening your knife, uh,
Yes.
being a writer. And one thing I'll say is, we spend money on a lot of things, right? $9, $8 at Starbucks,
Yes.
$15 for some kind of meal at Jack in the Box or Burger King or McDonald's. $25 for Chipotle burrito bowl,
Right.
Uber Eats plus the tip.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
Writing, if you're serious about it, whether you want to be, a best-selling author, or whether it's something that you approach as a hobby, or everything in between, everything takes an investment, right?
It
It takes an
does.
investment of time. Usually it's time and money. But
Yes.
imagine you said you wanted to build a home, but you're not willing to buy any materials, pay the contractor. You just sit around all day talking about you want to build a home. And even if you're going to do it yourself, you still have to either learn how to do it, buy a book, take a class, pay your
Right.
brother-in-law to help you on Saturdays. Like there's
Right.
an investment. And so as a writer, there's an investment, right?
Yeah.
There's an investment of time and money.
Yes.
So while I wish I could just give all the courses away to everybody, there are those of you out there who can pay, and you should pay really, because
Right.
it furthers the mission. If you are in a situation where it's an absolute hardship, and trust me, I've been there. I used to get recycling out of the trash and uh, save it, and then my neighbors would steal it in my apartment building. I get really mad because you have to save a lot of recycling, even
Right.
for like $3.
Right.
I've been there,
Yeah.
looking for change in my car seat or underneath the seat. I've been there, and it wasn't that long ago. So I understand that. So if you are in that situation, reach out to Paulette,
Yes.
explain your situation to her. You don't have to explain it to me. And then she can just say, Victoria, I have a BWA member, and in my opinion, their personal circumstance, without sharing it with me, warrants, some complimentary courses or access to the platform. Absolutely. I'm open to that because I believe people won't abuse that, right? I
Absolutely.
believe most people are good people and that people won't abuse that. So if you find yourself in that situation, reach out to Paulette.
Yes.
I don't need to know any of the details. She just needs to tell me, here's one of my members. They need a complimentary pass, access to XYZ courses. Absolutely, hands down, it's never a problem. So keep that in mind. But those of you who can invest in your writing, I ask that you do invest in your writing and you
Yes.
purchase some of the courses.
Wow. Wow. Well, this has been such an amazing afternoon spending time with you on the Author's Lounge. I welcome you to come back, Victoria, at any time, and we can possibly, conduct more shows on specific courses and really dive into the complexity of those courses, what they entail. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for
You're
joining me today and really just giving us some knowledge on what you're doing, why you're doing it, and who it's for, who it's going to benefit. And I think it's just a great thing. I really, really do. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, email me if you're interested in the testing, BWA magazine at gmail.com. And in the subject, just let me know that you want to be a beta tester and
and
you can participate.
also, sorry, I
It's okay.
apologize
Go
for
ahead.
that. One of the reasons to reach out to me through Paulette is because she'll have access to discounts in the future.
Yay.
So if you come, I mean, I'm doing all I can for
Yes.
my queens, my
Yes.
sisters.
Yes.
So that's why it's important to reach out to Paulette so that you're getting the benefit of her relationship with me and with the platform. The other
Yes.
thing I will say is the website is up, and depending on when you see this, but it's not finished. We made it live because we're working on it around the clock. And a lot of the links are dead links. You're welcome to look at it, but the courses aren't there. When we're ready to launch, we will connect the courses on the back end to the website. And I encourage you to sign up for our newsletter when that's ready to go soon, because there will be offers in the newsletter on a
Mm,
weekly basis. It might be a free course, it might be 90% off or 50%
yes.
off. It could be a number of things. It could be buy one, get one free. So you do want to sign up for the newsletter as well. And just let Paulette know so she can compile the list of people, beta
Yes.
testers, newsletter. And then when we're ready to pull the trigger, we're going to reach right out to you. So thank you,
Yes.
Paulette. It has been one of the greatest
Oh,
honors actually in my life to be a part of the empire that you've built, the magazine being featured,
yes.
writing the guest column, and I can't thank you enough. And as BWA members, I encourage you, thank Paulette, write messages of thanks on her Facebook page
Thank you.
because it's really hard. It's
Yes.
it's easier to have a job than be an entrepreneur. Trust
Yes.
me. We
Yes.
don't get sleep, and we
Yeah.
have a life just like everyone else. Well, I don't. I don't have a life.
Yes, you do.
Paulette does. I don't have a life. Paulette has a life, and she has family commitments. So, show your appreciation. Write those words of thanks. We can't hear thank you too much, just like you can't hear thank you too much from the people in your lives that matter. Thank
Yes.
you, honey, even for small things. Please
Yes.
show your thanks. Put it in the Facebook group. Encourage your friends to join. When you go to writers events, tell people about this.
Yes.
This is a community. We all need each other, and Paulette needs you as much as you need her. We all need each
Yes.
other. So let's build ourselves up, build one another up in the process, and elevate this BWA to the largest writers group on Facebook. We're
Yes.
on our way.
We are. We are definitely on our way. We
Yeah.
we are moving in a great direction, and I'm super proud of just seeing all the growth with the authors, their participation. And I think I had mentioned to Victoria that not only do we have almost 11,000 members, but we have approximately 30,000 average people per month just looking at the page and reviewing and scrolling all of the books. And so I think that is absolutely amazing as to what it's become. So I thank you for that. I thank you to all of the people that have reached out to me, thanking me for the platform and for my work. I thank you all for that. Continue to do that. That is inspiring for me to know that I'm doing a good thing and that I'm on a good mission and that it's working. And so I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate my sister Victoria. She is just amazing, as you can see. um, I can't say enough words about her. But with that, we are going to sign off. Thank you so much for watching the Authors Lounge. And we will be back very soon when our next author appears and wants to promote their work. If you're interested in being on the show, you can email bwamagazine@gmail.com and we can get you scheduled. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your day and we will see you soon on the Authors Lounge.
Thank you.
All right, let's end that.